Again.
Okay, so thank you for coming on our webinar tonight. If you're not muted, go ahead and mute. I think I got everybody. But we are excited to share with you tonight what has added more good to our lives. And if you've been invited by somebody, I'm sure you already know that we're with the Juice Plus Company. Which, one of their mottos is to make simple changes. So we've made simple changes all along, and each thing kind of just adds more good to our family. So we're going to go over those things. We're going to show pictures of our families, things like that, just to personalize it a little more for you and take you on the journey with us of how we've come to this point where we're just so thankful that we've learned all that we can. Michelle, you want to say anything while I share my screen?
Yeah, I'm just excited to share this because it's been over 10 years since I've been doing it, and I can't say enough about it. And so I'm excited to share my experience with you, and then for you guys to get to hear from Sharon, because she has over 20 years of experience of using Juice Plus and the products, and I'm halfway there, but it's just amazing. And it really gives you a peace of mind too. So I'm glad that you guys have joined us tonight, and you'll get to learn some more for yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Total peace of mind. Well, that is what has happened with my family. We've put some like safeguards, and those safeguards we're going to share with you tonight. They really make a significant difference. And so I just want you to see my family and that I've been through it all. If you have kids and you've helped them grow to this point, you've been through it all too. And even my son on the right, with special needs. So I've learned a lot from alternative healthcare providers, things like that. So what I'm going to share with you is a lot of what I learned and a lot of what really got me excited. And I'm going to talk a lot in the beginning, but we're going to talk back and forth after that. We're not going to go into a lot of these things that can help you to be healthier, like exercise, sleep, manage stress, drink water, use safer products, because truly the foundation of better health is eating real food. What matters is what you're putting in your body every single day, what's going in your mouth all day long, right? And so we're going to really focus on the eating real food part tonight, because 75% of disease can be better helped with how you eat and some of these lifestyle choices, but mostly how you're eating. And it all really comes down, I'm really drilling down for you, fruits and vegetables, okay? And so the bottom line, and hopefully you've seen the many documentaries that are out, is eat more fruits and vegetables. The experts agree that most diseases are preventable with that good nutrition. So how many are you supposed to eat? You're supposed to eat between 7, that's for children, servings, to 13, that's for men who exercise. But guess what? That's a minimum. That's not even like a maximum. And hardly any of us can do it. Okay, I'm a stay-at-home vegetarian, and I know all this, and I still, there's no way that I get 9 to 13, which is really what adults should aim for, and that's a minimum. So if you want minimum health, so we want optimal health, and so the other thing is, why do we need so many? It's because a lot of times they're picked early, so they're not getting the full nutrition. They're trucked, for a couple weeks and put in warehouses, things like that. So you're not getting it at the vine ripening stage. And we just don't eat enough, and we don't eat enough of the colors. We kind of eat the same ones all the time too. So I want to share with you 2 reasons why you want to focus on fruits and vegetables. One is that we're all oxidizing, okay? So you could go around and say, Sharon told me I'm oxidizing. Well, you are. And it's kind of like when somebody leaves a hammer outside in the rain, okay? There's a rusting process. That rusting process is aging on the inside. And so like when you cut the apple, you're causing oxidation by letting the air hit the apple. And what do? We put an antioxidant on there. That's the lemon. Well, that's what fruits and vegetables do for us in our bodies. They help neutralize oxidative stress. So if you look like, or if somebody looks like they've had, quote, a hard life, it might be they've had so much oxidative stress, but they haven't had enough antioxidants to combat that. That's one reason why we need so many fruits and vegetables. The more oxidative stress we have, the more damage to our DNA, mutation, and also earlier aging happens. Okay, so that's one thing I want to make sure you always learn if you're on one of my talks. And then the second is that vitamins and minerals come from fruits and vegetables. On the left here is what you might get in a multivitamin, but on the right is 1 page of 25 of what you would get in an apple. Okay, so when you have an apple, you're actually getting like 10,000 nutrients. When you have a tomato, you're getting 12,455, believe it or not. And only one of those is lycopene that they added to the multivitamin. So when you're only having the multivitamin that has like 30, you're totally missing the mark. You're trying to bridge the gap for whole food that you're missing, because a lot of us are like, oh, we don't eat right, so we're going to take a vitamin. So you're really missing the whole gap. And so there's thousands of nutrients in each fruit or vegetable. So when you have a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're having like 100,000 nutrients. You want to have that instead of the vitamin. And we're going to also share with you also a beautiful way to get more fruits and vegetables. And there's a lot of mixed reviews on vitamins. You know, they could do more harm than good. They mega dose them a lot, and you can't really rely on them either for bridging that gap. Okay, so Time Magazine said in 2003, news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, that they're so good they could save your life. So a lot of times if somebody's been diagnosed with something, they might go out and start eating more fruits and vegetables. They might go out and start juicing, and it might not even last very long because it's really hard to do. The American Cancer Society poster is all fruits and vegetables. This was something I learned 21 years ago that really sparked my interest. I had a couple master's degrees. I was a guidance counselor at a high school, and like nutrition intervened. And I was super unhealthy before then. I had allergies, I was run down, I was drained. I had a Kleenex in my hand all the time. My husband would grab my hand and he'd be like, oh, this is part of us. It was kind of an ongoing joke. And then I had bumps on the backs of my arms, the tops of my legs. It was really nutrition. So I started to learn about nutrition. I'm thinking, why didn't I get a master's in nutrition instead? And so I started to continue learning about nutrition. And one of the things I ran across was this American Cancer Society poster. It used to have, like in the old days, watch for fast growing moles, stop smoking, things like that. But then this was the poster saying, eat more fruits and vegetables. That's how you can help prevent cancer. Well, nobody ever thinks they're going to get cancer, right? But just in case, we should eat lots of fruits and vegetables, right? And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I understood after listening to some of the lectures on audio that every day you don't get enough fruits and vegetables. It's like standing in front of an X-ray machine. That's how much oxidative stress there is, and that's how much damage there is to your cells. 10,000 oxidative hits a day. So I was really happy that my friend told me about something that really helped me get on a better path to health. And so when I was first introduced to what's called Juice Plus, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about, I, like I said, was super unhealthy. So that's my first baby where I had no nutritional tools to back me up. Okay. When I read the Best Odds Diet in the pregnancy book, I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I tried to do my best. And so thankfully, Matthew's fine. He's progressed, and he's actually one of the most balanced people in our family. But there were some developmental delays, and I think he would have been better helped if I would have been healthier. But I really didn't know growing up what health was. And so we're going to share that encapsulated today. And so the bottom picture is my third baby at age 40, which was 8 years later. So hopefully you can see the difference between my first baby and my third, and how, you can look just so much healthier when you have less inflammation, you have the healthier glow and leaner, And so that's my before and after picture. And so what is Juice Plus? Juice Plus is 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries that are harvested at the peak of ripeness. Remember I said we're not really getting that in the store. And the nutrition is intact because of that. The produce is then pulverized. It's not juiced. It's dried into powders. And it's at a low temperature that sustains the enzymes, okay? It maintains the enzymes. And then they're put into capsules or delicious chewables. And then we also have an omega blend, which we're going to talk to you about in a little while. Okay, so I want to turn it over to Michelle, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about that and share her story.
So, hi, everyone. Okay, so I am just truly thankful for the day that I met Sharon. It's been 10 and a half years since we met, and we were complete strangers, right? And we were just talking. Our kids were playing together. We were leaving the gym. She was parked right next to me, and we got into a conversation. And I don't know if she noticed my snotty nosed son at the time. He was 14 months, but he was always sick. And we got on a conversation of Juice Plus. There he is. And I had been going to a holistic pediatrician for 3 years, and the pediatrician never had an opportunity to tell me what Juice Plus was, even though it was in his office, all over his office. He was promoting it. And so it was that day that I met Sharon that she told me what it was. It was gummies that are filled with all these fruits and veggies and berries that you see here on the screen. Incredible. And then it also came in capsules. And I was like, are you serious? Like, my son needs this desperately. Now, I wasn't thinking about myself. I thought I ate well, which in my definition of eating well, it was like eating 3 or 4 fruits and vegetables for the day. I thought I was doing so good. And it wasn't until I really learned this information that I realized, holy cow, I need to be eating so much more. I was someone that worked out all the time. So my body is under even more oxidative stress than the average person, because even though exercise is good for you, you're putting more demand on your body, right? So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't get close to what I should eat. Actually, no one in my family does. So that really changed, like, just started us. This was the one simple change we made 10 and a half years ago. That was my son, who was always sick. He projectile vomited for 9 months. Guys, it was tough. He had acid reflux by the time he was like 3 weeks old. It was bad. But, you know, we added Juice Plus, and within 2 months of him adding that at 14 months old, he was like a different person. He hadn't been sick the entire 2 months, which I don't know if I mentioned, he used to be sick 3 weeks out of a month. And like, he no longer had the runny nose. Like, he was like a totally different person. He used to be very mucousy, and that disappeared. And we did eliminate dairy around that time too. So between the dairy and the Juice Plus, like, I feel like his health totally transformed. And today he's like a different person. He's extremely healthy. He craves vegetables, which is something that was really difficult for me to get in his body back then. He would not eat them at all. And now he's like an athlete. Both my kids are athletes. They play a bunch of different sports, and they do well in the classroom too. And I'm just really grateful, because I don't know how I would have progressed over the next 10 years without having this as my safety net. It really relieved a lot of stress for me as a mom. You know, if your kid is like constantly congested, you have the vaporizer, you're trying to do all you can do to help their breathing at night. I no longer had to do that by the time he was 16 months. And it's been kind of, I've been coasting ever since. So if you go to the next picture, when I really learned the education behind this, I was like, you know what? Well, I didn't even say, you know what, I was already telling everyone about it, because that's just the person I am. If I hear something that's really good and that can help people, I tell everyone. So I was on the phone with like relatives and friends and coworkers, and I was just mentioning, hey, have you heard about this thing? Like, it's fruits and vegetables. And, you know, a lot of us just don't get enough. And so many of them were like, well, wait a minute, if you find out more about that, I want to know about it too, because I know I have this issue or that issue, and I'm sure that could help. And so I partnered with Sharon, and it's been like, we've been riding the wave ever since. This is like 10 years ago we took this picture, right? It's been that long. But even the boxes and our bottles have changed. But here are the kids. So what really got me when I first heard about it is that our company not only provides this education, but they want to give back by helping our children also get this nutrition in their bodies, because we know that that's just going to help them become healthier adults, right? If they start with these simple changes now, and we are able to get this in their bodies at an early age, I feel like my kids are a lot different than they would be without it, because already my daughter's a teenager and she loves the sweets and the treats. But I think this helps to keep her more in line. So she will gravitate to sweets and treats, but she'll still eat salads and she'll still eat fairly healthy. But, you know, this helps me say to myself, guess what? there's balance here. At least she's getting in the vital nutrients, the antioxidants her body needs, even though she's not doing the best. And she's an athlete. She plays travel soccer. So, it is what it is, but this is kind of our safety net. We're not perfect eaters. And this just helps us get through, the parties, the get-togethers. Let me tell you, when you play on a team sport, there's always some kind of crappy food out there that's not the best. So, this gives me the peace of mind that, okay, they're still getting in their vital nutrients every day, despite everything else that's going on, right?
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our second simple change that added more good to our families, and that wasn't all for Michelle's kids, the gummies. And she'll share with you about the complete shake. The complete shake is called complete because it has a complete amino acid profile. And this is a way to get your macronutrients. Like, what is my next best meal? This was something I fed to my kids early on, and they've had it for the last 21 years. Or 22 might be years, I don't know, 21. My 22-year-old has it once or twice a day, and he works out, he works at Publix, and he goes to school, college. My Army guy actually asked for the shake, and so he's got it in his barracks. And so it's something that our kids have grown up with and that I use all the time too. And it has things in it that if you put it on a platter, there's no way I would eat it. Broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, chickpea, millet, quinoa, amaranth, and pea protein, rice protein. Water washed soy is actually very good for you. It's edamame and it's non-genetically modified. Mushrooms provide the D hormone in our shake. So we've got some really good things. We've also got fructooligosaccharides in our shake, which is a Jerusalem artichoke that helps build your intestinal bacteria. So it's got so many good things in it, and it's got a great mix of fiber and protein, and it keeps your blood sugar stable. So we use it as a shake every day. Go ahead and tell how you use it, Michelle.
So if we're not having it for breakfast, it's usually a pre-game, like Chance has a game tonight, and this is what he had before he left for his game, or we use it as a post-game, post-workout drink. So for me, after I work out in the mornings, I usually have this as my breakfast, and I really feel like having a shake is a really good way to get in a lot of nutrients after a workout, because your body is going into repair and recovery mode, and you want to get those nutrients to your muscles as soon as possible. So this provides the perfect amount of carbohydrates and proteins and all of that good stuff. So my kids love it. I love it. I can't believe I've been drinking it for 10 years. Like, it's incredible because I get tired of things, but it tastes so good. It really is a treat, and you can mix it up in so many ways. Like, 1 minute we'll be on a vanilla kick, next minute we're on a chocolate kick. Who knows? But it's always good.
Yeah, same with us. So, way back when, this was me with the kids being really small, but always having the shake, even if one of them was on an edamame kick. And so I'd give that child shake in addition. And I forget, eggs was another kid, and so I would give it to balance out their meal. If they had macaroni and cheese, they'd get a shake also. This is something that would just balance out their meals. And so, we've told you a little bit about a lot of these things. So we've got the capsules, we've got the gummies, we've got the shake. I always bring it with me traveling. And then the bars I am loving too. I've been playing racquetball tournaments, racquetball for like 3 hours sometimes, and I use the bar in between, and it's so filling. And then my husband, you can see here, he loves the shake. We really rely on the shake as one of our tools, and it's super healthy. We've been able to use it, and it's been looked at MD Anderson Cancer Center. It's been deemed safe. It helps with protein status, things like that. We love it as a sweet treat. I don't know. I don't think I mentioned that when I was super unhealthy, I was eating M&Ms and Coca-Cola all the time. So this is my M&Ms and Coca-Cola now. And it's a plant-based healthy snack like this that I'll use our complete shake with, or I'll make a bowl. Here's a couple of my recipes. We can always send those to you. Sometimes we make muffins or waffles with the shake because it's gluten-free, it's vegan, it's a way to add more plants. It's an awesome before school, after school, before workout, after workout, any of those things. Definitely, I've eaten the things on the left and still do. We're not perfect eaters saying we're perfect. And then on the right, I don't think in one sitting I would ever have eaten those many fruits and vegetables. So, what Juice Plus does is bridges the gap between what we do eat and what we should eat, just so that we stay healthy on a daily basis. And really, it's one of the most significant things you can do, and we're going to get into how we know it's so significant based on the research. And it's something that can be a daily habit. Whatever you're doing as a daily habit, that's going to really predict what happens later in life. So we're choosing to invest in wellness so that we have optimal health later in life. Even now, with more energy and vitality, all those things, I've already got that in my 50s, where I just feel so much better than in my 20s and 30s. And so Michelle's going to share with you the one thing we left out of this equation for you guys. Here you go. It's the omega.
So I agree with Sharon, everything she said about feeling better as you get older. I just turned 45 a month ago. And I look back and I think of how I felt in my 20s and my 30s. And you know how you start to feel run down by midday? I don't feel that. Like, I have energy all throughout the day. And I was like, how can I be feeling better in my 40s than I did in my 20s and 30s? It's crazy, but that's the power of nutrition, right? And so it was around 4 or 5 years ago, our company added in a plant-based omega. So they totally avoided the fish, which we know the fish, getting fish oil is not as sustainable. They went to what fish eat, and fish eat plant algae in the ocean to get the omegas that they have in their body. So they went directly to the plant algae and to several other plant sources to get this full spectrum omega. And I've been using it, I believe now for 4 years. Incredible. You see the benefits here: heart, brain, joints, skin, eyes. I'll share my story. So I started taking it, I mentioned, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and every year my vision has gotten better. One thing that people told me when I was in my 30s was like, oh, you wait till you get to your 40s, your eyes are going to get worse, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, kind of like nervous about that. My eyes have improved so much that now my vision is the same as when I was in high school, which is crazy. I haven't been in high school for over 25 years. So I'm like, what is going on? And then I really look at, the fact that I'm getting the nutrition from Juice Plus, but then when I added the omegas is when I really saw like my vision kind of stayed maintained with the Juice Plus, and it improved slightly. But when I added the omegas in, my vision improved significantly to where I was like, are you kidding me? And it's so funny that the eye doctor doesn't even say, well, what the heck are you doing? Because who usually gets someone getting older and their vision getting better instead of worse? Weird. So anyway, these capsules taste really good, because I don't know if your mom used to do this with you guys, but my mom used to line us up for fish oil. I cannot even believe it. Now I still think about it because I just have nightmares. But that fish oil tastes so bad. And you know how you would burp it up after? It was so bad. But this has no taste of fish because there's no fish being used. It's all plants. So it kind of has like an orangey taste, like an orangey vanilla. I don't chew it up. I know plenty of people's children that just chew it up and eat it. I swallow it. I have texture issues. But at least I know that once I swallow it, I'm not burping up anything fishy. It tastes really good. So I'm just grateful that I'm now getting an omega in, because I learned recently too that over 90% of people are deficient in omegas in your body. Like, so everyone knows most people are deficient in vitamin D. Well, omegas are right up there in like the top 5 of things that we're deficient in also. So keep that in mind. If you're not taking an omega, you may want to add that into your diet.
Okay, and I saw some people nodding about the omega. If you've had an omega experience and you want to put it in the chat, or if you want to put any of your experiences in the chat, you can. So that would only help other people. So I think you were going to go over this slide, Michelle. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, this is what really got me, because I grew up my whole life taking vitamins. My mom was like, you don't eat very well. I was a very picky eater. I was that kid. And she was like, you need to take a vitamin. So I grew up taking multivitamins, thinking that was going to help me bridge my gaps, right? And it wasn't until I really heard this information and realized, oh my goodness, man has tried to replicate what food does, well, plant food does, but they haven't even scratched the surface, right? Juice Plus is not a vitamin. It's actually the food. It's concentrated food. And even though it's in a capsule or a gummy, some people will confuse it with being a vitamin, but it's not. It has a food label. It's made with non-GMO ingredients, which right now is so important, I feel, to not have GMO ingredients in your foods. They've always been vegan, always been kosher, and always been dairy and gluten-free. And mind you guys, Juice Plus has been around for over 25 years. So they've already been there. They were always forward thinking. These were things that were not even questionable like over 10 years ago. When I first started, I didn't even know what kale was. Honestly, I'll be honest, 10 years ago, I didn't know what kale was. But all these things now have come to light more and more. But they have already implemented things that were not even questionable over 10 years ago, but that just shows you how they've always been like at the top of their game with this. And so the next thing that I really enjoy is that they're NSF certified. So NSF certification is a nonprofit organization that randomly goes around and tests the quality and what's in the products to make sure that there's no harmful substances. They make sure that what's on the label is in the product and what's in the product is on the label, so you're not being deceived. And they take it a couple notches further. With us, there's no pesticides or herbicides, and they make sure there's no like metal or contaminants. So it really is, I feel like, some of the best quality assurance that we have out there. And that's why we have so many Olympic teams and professional sport teams that take Juice Plus because of that certification. And then what blew my mind was that the fact that it's researched, and we are the most researched nutritional product in the world. Now, mind you, the vitamins that I grew up taking had no research at all. And I was like, what? That's crazy. But they took time to not just say, okay, we will have people testify to their experience. They really have results that are gotten from blood work and actual research studies with people that have been conducted. And here are some of the highly renowned hospitals and universities. I mean, it blows my mind every time I look at this list, because I mean, I hold Yale University to be way up there. My friend went to Yale and I'm just like, you're so smart. But that's an Ivy League college. We have, I will say we have University of Florida. That's my nemesis. I went to Florida State, but we know they're a very highly renowned university, but then we have universities from all over the world. If you look at this closely, you're going to see Italy, Australia, you see Japan, England, universities and hospitals all around the world that have conducted studies using Juice Plus, not just the things that are in Juice Plus, but actually using Juice Plus on people and seeing the results. And so on the next page, we'll see some of the results that have been found by people taking Juice Plus. And the fact that these things are what attract thousands of doctors to what we have. So here we see it improves and contributes to cardiovascular wellness. Who knew that? I thought that working out was the only way that you could improve cardiovascular wellness. I had no idea fruits and vegetables helped you do that. That's incredible. And then it also supports a healthy inflammatory response. Let me break this down really quick. So that is systemic inflammation. How many of you guys hear that, oh, that person has inflammation in the body, right? We want to reduce inflammation in the body because that's usually the onset of a disease or illness. So the fact that this helps to offset inflammation in the body is incredible. Supports better quality of life. They did studies on adolescent boys that were pre-diabetic, and the results from that were incredible. It supports healthy lung function, healthier skin and gums. It helps to support your immune system. I mean, look at all these things. This is what eating plenty of plants does. But if you're like me, you don't get as many as you wish you could in a day, but I do now through Juice Plus. So I love what Dr. Du Bois says right here. There is nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. He says it many ways, but yeah, what it does in the body. And to me, that means so much because there's so many things out there, but nothing compares to the amount of research, the amount of quality that we have. I mean, we're definitely at the top of what we have. So I hope that you take a look. If you're not already a user, that you will take a look at this and say, let me do this too.
Right. I mean, that's what really got me excited. 21 years ago, there were only 3 studies. Now there's 43 showing.
Uh-oh, we got muted.
Something happened to my cursor. But I was saying that to myself that Juice Plus works on all different parts of the body. When I first started, there were only 3 studies. Now there's 43 studies. So I've kind of lived through all of those, and they're all awesome. I love it. And so we love the research. It totally separates us from everything else. Well, we were always talking about eating more fruits and vegetables. We would never say just pop some capsules or some gummies and don't eat fruits and vegetables. And our company incorporated something where we could actually show you that we definitely want you to eat more fruits and vegetables, and that is through the tower garden. So this is me and my husband enjoying our tower gardens. We have 4 because during quarantine, everybody got into gardening. Well, we got into gardening twice as much. So we went from 2 to 4 tower gardens. And we have loved it as a hobby, but also as a way to get vine ripened, non-genetically modified produce that is at the peak of ripeness too, in a variety. So it's been fun for us. It's a hydroponic aeroponic system of growing. It's vertical, so it doesn't take up a lot of room. It's beautiful also. It's electric, so it waters itself. There's water and nutrients at the bottom. And so thankfully it waters itself, because that was my main problem with any type of garden is I don't want to go outside and water the garden, water some dirt. I never wanted to do that. So this has been really awesome. And so Michelle and I have been growing tower gardens for quite a while since they came out. And those actually have lasted 10 years because they have double UV protected food grade plastic. So it's sat out in the sun all this time and it's really fine. And it was developed by the chief horticulturist from Epcot down in Disney, and it was made for humans to be able to have one. He wanted everybody to have one on their own patio, whether it's indoors, outdoors, on the patio, in an apartment or whatever, because people would tour the land exhibit at Epcot and they would say, well, how do I do this? Because it was like the future of growing. And so he invented this so that everyone could have one. And you'll see it even at airports, ballparks, things like that, the commercial version. But these are the residential versions. You can grow 20 to 28 different plants using the same nutrients, and the nutrients are made for human consumption. It's oxidized minerals because it's with water, so they no, not oxidized. What is it called? Ionized. Sorry, not oxidized. Ionized minerals. I just said oxidation was bad. And you're like, why are you saying oxidized? I didn't mean it. Sorry. So ionized minerals. And so the ionized minerals are with the water, and that is just like growing in dirt. Actually, it's better. According to University of Mississippi, they did a study, and the tower garden performed better than people who generally grow in the ground at University of Mississippi Horticulture Division. So that is the future of growing, taking up less space, less water, and having more yield. And Chansey is doing just fine now that his mom ran into me at the gym. We got rid of his snotty nose, and then he found the tower garden too, and he loves salad in a jar, right?
Oh yeah, he loves it all. It's so funny. I'm like looking at him. He was only he was like 2 years old, I think, holding that big leaf. And now he's 11, and they have watched this system since they were babies, and they loved it. I mean, that was one of the things that opened my eyes to gardening, was them watching it and being so amazed by seeing how quickly everything grows in the tower. And then that helped me to also like get it into schools, because there were so many schools that were growing in the ground, and I would see at my kids' school, like the plant, like whatever they were growing didn't look good. So I told them about this, and several schools in my area have implemented getting these and adding them into the curriculum, which we provide curriculum for the schools. So we make it real easy for them to do that.
Right. Awesome.
So I love just how simple our products are, and that we don't have a ton of products. We just have a handful of things, but you can enter the door however you like, whether you decide that you want to get started with the micronutrients with Juice Plus and the Omega, or the macronutrients with our Complete or the bars, or starting to grow your own food, which I think is a really good idea nowadays, because I'm like looking at the price of food at the store. I'm like, everything's increasing. So it helps so much to be able to grow your own food, because I always hear Jules saying this, is that when you grow your own food, it's like growing your own money, because you are saving money growing your own food, and you're getting vine ripened nutritious food right at your fingertips. And so one of the things that we offer, not only to our clients, but also to, people that are looking for resources, we have all these different cookbooks and guides for kids on how to get healthy. And we even have a shred program and fitness, all these educational tools that you can implement if you are interested. Let me tell you, the mocktail recipe book is amazing. We had a lot of fun making mocktails. But these are the things that our community offers. We have so much fun together, and we just get to learn with each other. And so I find that's really cool.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. And so, the bottom line is we want you to eat better, not less.
Mhm.
We just all need to eat better daily and have some good disciplines. These are some tools that could help you. And it tells here, the prices and all that. And you could get your children free with an adult purchase. You could get a child free for up to 4 years, ages 4 to 18 through college. And like the shake is only like $2 a day, or $2 a serving, $1 a day for the Omega. So if you look at what we spend our money on, I know I am guilty of going to Starbucks way too often. Sometimes you just have to think, well, how much am I investing in my wellness for myself? Not for us. Think about it for yourself. How do you want to feel? You want to have some way to get more nutrients in your body. I'm trying to teach this to my daughter who is into golfing. I'm trying to make sure she's getting more nutrients so she can perform the way she wants to. And so today she had a very high energy golf game and she did her best. So I was like, yes, that worked out. Because sometimes, when they're 14, they're not all that malleable, just have to say. And then the Tower Garden, I went ahead and figured out how much that is a day, $1.75 a day. Once you have that paid off, it's like it lasts you for years. So that's just based on how much you would pay a month for the Tower Garden, which is like $52 a month for 12 months. So those are just some general prices you would get back to whoever invited you. But basically, good nutrition is going to equal good results. I see a lot of people who have autoimmune disorders. It's really becoming more rampant. They're just not eating, a plant-based or plant-increased diet, okay? So sometimes people are just eating the standard American diet. It doesn't have a lot of fiber, doesn't have a lot of nutrients, and so you want to get good concentrated nutrition into your body, and we've shared with you some tools for that. If anything, you want to eat tons of fruits and vegetables, and that is the bottom line for good nutrition. And so we hope you'll share this gift with somebody and invite them next time. We're going to take a pause and we're going to talk about how Michelle and I have learned to share with other people and to inspire healthy living around the world. I think there's a cute picture of us. No, there isn't. Let's see. We'll leave it on this picture. We've had so much fun doing what we do. And so I'm going to give it like a second. Just make sure you get back with the person who invited you. You can eat more fruits and vegetables. We'd love for you to do that. You can get any of those cookbooks, get into our customer group. We offer all kinds of things for free. We love for you to learn. Or you could get started on Juice Plus, any part of it, like Michelle said. Or you could decide, well, I want to be like these guys. I want to have fun and get healthy. This truly is one of the best health clubs ever. So
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll say goodbye to whoever wants to go, but I'm going to go ahead and roll right into what we're going to talk about, which is sharing with other people. We've all got people in our lives that could use better nutrition. I know the first people I thought of was my mom, my sister, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law's mother-in-law. I ended up talking to her, and then all the people I worked with, all the people my husband worked with. So over time, this has just become part of who I am. And so the company says, we are inspiring healthy living around the world. How do we do that? We take steps ourselves in our health, and then we share with other people. And I'm just going to say, Michelle, what has this business done for you and your family? of sharing Juice Plus with people. I know what, I'll just give a little background. I don't think I gave any background to when I ran into her at LA Fitness, it was in the parking lot. I said to her, oh, we both were from FSU. That's what got us started talking. And so she said, I said, what was your major? And she asked me my major. And I said, yeah, but I'm not really using that anymore because I had ended up staying home with the kids and doing Juice Plus. And so I said, I like to help other mommies be able to stay home with their kids and create a significant income. So that is what we've been able to do with Michelle. And it takes time. It's just sharing one person at a time. But go ahead and share, your family pictures and then we'll move forward.
Yeah, I mean, that day we met, I had no idea how, the path I would be on, but I'm so grateful because I never imagined. Okay, so I was raised in a household where you were told you're going to go to college, get a degree, and that would be your profession, right? And there was really no other thinking outside of that. So I had worked in IT and corporate for over 10 years, but when I met Sharon, I had been at home with my kids for over a year, having been let go from my job. And I was looking for a way to create some extra income, but not have to be in the grind of the 9 to 5, but be home with my little ones because they were 14 months and 3 years old. And it truly changed my life when she shared this because I didn't know what to expect. I honestly had a really bad perception of a business like this because I had seen my brother do something and I was like, oh, he never really followed through. I just didn't think it was a viable business. But let me tell you, when I heard how amazing this business was, our company is, and just how much they give to their representatives and the community that comes alongside it, incredible. Um, I've been part of it ever since. When I first started and I was just telling people about it, I had my friend who was a podiatrist. She was like, wait a minute, I want to do that too. And she joined alongside me. She actually kind of convinced me to join because she was like, if you're not signing up, I'm signing up. So she kind of rallied me in to sign up. And it's been 10 years and I can't believe I've been able to be at home and present with my kids for these 10 years. I always thought I would have to go back into the workforce, but I've been able to bring in a significant income that has really helped to contribute to the household and allowed me to be at home. And let me tell you, there's nothing like having a at-home business because there's amazing tax write-offs that you get alongside that people don't even recognize. So there's so many benefits, but let me tell you, it's priceless having this community. It's helped keep my sanity over the past year and a half of pandemic life. Having our community and, we are able to connect via Zoom. We usually see each other more often, but we stayed connected this whole time. That in itself has been priceless. And just the gift that it's given me of being that mom that I never imagined I could be for the past 10 years. To be here and now, we've traveled and done all kind of fun things together.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yes. And so it's been great to be a part of that. There's so many great things about being in the Juice Plus community, helping people get healthier, but also helping people dream. This is actually one of my dream boards, the most recent one, I think, that we did online. I have a few, and what's neat is that our company encourages us to dream. And so a lot of my dreams have come true. I know I didn't have to go back to being a guidance counselor. I was enjoying sharing Juice Plus so much and helping people build businesses that I was like, I don't want to go back to quote work. And I learned the power of leverage, that if I trained people, they would be out sharing while I'm sharing wherever I am. And I could even be at the beach and they would still be sharing somewhere else. Like we talked about New Mexico earlier, And so over time, I have been able to be home, have my husband home now too, who is enjoying coaching and mentoring and training our team and all the things that come with it, all the systems and organizational things that he loves to do. And we've been able to obviously travel more and have some more dreams. And what I love is that our company, that is the vision statement. Since 1970, our mission has been to inspire healthy living around the world, and also to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. So they want to help people who are their workforce, their field, realize their dreams. We are the mouthpiece for Juice Plus, and it's really satisfied customers. It's raving fans. It's people who get excited about, sounds funny, fruits and vegetables, or getting healthy, and it's kind of like how my friend shared with me. She's like, it's the next best thing since sliced bread. Well, I'm not sure sliced bread has a good rep right now, but back then I think it did. And so anyway, our company founder and president had come up with that so many years ago. He was a teacher and he created our business, which has really brought all these people together. These are just some of the pictures of our team and how we love to get together at conferences or wherever we're at. We're always looking to get healthy, but also have fun. And so we love to represent Juice Plus because it's bulletproof. It has the food label, it has the NSF certification. It is the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. Doctors recommend it. Thousands of doctors recommend it. And it's actually the largest selling nutritional product of its kind in the world. So who wouldn't want to represent that, right? And when some products say keep away from children, we encourage people to use it with their children and even give it free. And also people who are pregnant or older people take Juice Plus. The company has been around for 50 years, over 50 years. They've had over $15 billion in sales since inception, and they continue to grow. And they purchased this building a while back, and they said this is for the next 35 years. So they're always thinking ahead. And like Michelle said, they already had check marks on things that didn't even matter when I first started as much. Like right now, gluten-free matters to a lot of people. Non-genetically modified matters to a lot of people. But 21 years ago, they already had that in place. It was pretty amazing. They are so cool. And so, Michelle, what about this? Go ahead.
Okay, so I love this because it kind of it connects like some of that business side and corporate side alongside just having a small business. But one of the things that really stands out to me is how low cost it is to join a business like this. So it's only $52 a year to be a part of our business model, which is crazy. It's just so good to be part of such a huge company. And we get to work from anywhere. We don't have a house full of inventory. Like our company does really most of the work for us. We're sharing our stories, we share the education, and then the company does the rest. Once the customer places the order, they ship it, they do the billing. I mean, it really is simple. And you can do this part-time or full-time. I love the women I get to work with on my team. A lot of them have full-time jobs, but they do this alongside what they do, and it brings in some additional income, which I was just reading something recently, how $400, an extra $400 a month can really help some people stay out of a financial bind. It's really incredible. So just even making that small amount can make such a difference in a lot of people's lives. And there's no glass ceilings. There's just so much to love in this business. And the fact that we have this small focused product line. I've seen other companies where you have a huge catalog and I'm like, it kind of gets overwhelming, but we have things that you could just count on one hand, all the products that we offer. And then what we offer too, I have customers that were my customers from when I first started 10 and a half years ago, because it is consumable. And once you're on Juice Plus, it kind of, you stay with it. And even if they fall off, a lot of times they come back because they know how much better they felt when they were on it and they realize the benefits. But and then I'm at a leadership level, so I get to tap into some of these extra investment bonuses they give out. And then there's also a benefits package when you do get to upper leadership, which is really nice, like comparable, if not better, to the benefits that I got in corporate. So that is an even added more bonus to acquire.
Yes, me too. And I used to work for the school system and the hospital system. It's definitely a better benefits package.
Mhm.
Well, a lot of people like to know that our company gives back. They like as a corporation to say we're inspiring healthy giving. So they give back quite a bit to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Boys and Girls Club of America, they've given a tower garden to every Boys and Girls Club. Volunteers of America, they're donating 10 million complete meals. So it's great to be a part of this company. And so what we do is we just share as we live life. We share on social media. Michelle wasn't even on social media when I met her. Now she's like the queen of social media. And we do it in a way in which it's not selly. We do it more like we're just living life and getting healthier,
Sure.
things like that. You want to
Yeah,
comment
sharing
on
our experience.
hmm And then we share education. We're really all about education. And that is why a lot of times people stay as customers or team members who have customers because we educate so much about the power of fruits and vegetables and they experience that as well. So, like I said, we have thousands of doctors who recommend Juice Plus, and then there's the ones that do the research on it. So we have all those people as a resource too, which is really awesome. So people love the community. They love to get paid. For me, I thought this was just like rebate money. I thought it was $20 here, $20 there. And that's kind of how it started. But over time and just learning more, getting more and more excited, because when you learn more and more about the product and more about the company, you can't help but share it with other people. So it's great to get paid for that, get paid for learning. And we have loved being able to be home and have that quality time with our family. So I think that concludes for tonight. But if you have things that you love that the Juice Plus company or Juice Plus has helped you with, I'd love for you to put that in the chat so that all the people who are guests could read your comments before we go. And then I'm going to stop the recording and we'll take a couple questions if you want. And that's from guests. Let's